out on the highway, throw myself a ride. Been too long in New York City, my mind is a taking a ride. I wanna go back to Texas, the cosmic cowgirls play. I wanna have some fun in a good old Texas way. Down in Groovin's paradise, Groovin's paradise, Groovin's paradise. Groovin's paradise. Groovin's paradise.
Come on in, folks. Make yourself at home. Well, hey, everybody. Here we are. It's the second edition of GROOVIN at the Record Store. We want to thank you, everybody that gave us feedback and liked and subscribed the first time, the first week. Got lots of great feedback. Will did just a terrific job with it. Really happy with the way it looks. And I'm looking forward to moving forward and doing some really cool stuff with it. There's a lot of potential for us to have fun with this, so I'm really looking forward to it. But we got a lot of stuff. Record Store Day is this Saturday. We're going to go over part 2 of the Record Store Day stuff. This still is not all that we got in, but we got just a ton of stuff, cool stuff in. We're doing it like last year, where you make an appointment. We've still got plenty of appointments open from 9 to noon in every time slot. So just message us on Facebook or Instagram, or give me a call at work tomorrow between 12 and 8, and we'll get you on the list. And let's start talking about some of these records, because there is some cool stuff in here. The first thing we're going to start talking about is this Tangerine Dream record, which is live in the Reims Cathedral. It's recorded in December of 1974. And this is back in the earlier days of Tangerine Dream. This is right around the time of their Phaedra record, which was incredibly, given the lack of commercial appeal of the record, was a big success in England. And this is very reflective of what they did live at the time. This was recorded in a old cathedral in Reims, France. They put 6,000 people in this cathedral. Beautiful cathedral. The Vatican decided they didn't want to have any more concerts in cathedrals after this. But what you're looking at here is, like I say, the early mid-period of Tangerine Dream. So they're still basically building soundscapes here. But there will be some of Peter Bowman's sequence stuff going through here as well. This has been available on CD for a while, but this is its first appearance on vinyl. Tangerine Dream at their peak. If you're into them, you got to have this one. Prince, The Truth. So this is a record that was supposed to come out in 1997, and it wound up coming out in 1998 as a bonus disc in the Crystal Ball record, which I get kind of confused with all of Prince's alternative marketing and stuff, but I believe that was the one that he released independently without any label interference. Anyway, The Truth is a mostly acoustic based collection of songs from the mid-90s when Prince was still firing on all cylinders. It's a limited edition of 13,000. It's possible they may put this out again, but they're probably not going to put it out like this. It's got gold embossed letters on the cover, and it's on purple vinyl. And by all accounts, most people have heard it because it has been out before. It's a great record. Here's a cool piece that will impact us here in Austin somewhat. It's called Truth to Power. It's got Leon Bridges, the Black Pumas, Bad Not Good, a bunch of other groups on here. This is a 3-record set. It's a benefit, and it benefits 4 different charities here in Texas. One in San Antonio, one in Austin, one in Houston, and one in Dallas. And they're all charities that help musicians out. So it's put together by Mark Cuban and the Dallas Mavericks crew. And, it's got an unreleased Black Puma song, an unreleased Leon Bridges song, a bunch of cool stuff. It benefits a good cause, and it's a cool piece, too. Truth to Power. Couple of live records here from British bands from the beginning of the post-punk era and the beginning of the Britpop era. We got Echo and the Bunnymen and Suede, or the London Suede as they were known over here, and to be called the London Suede because there was already a group called Suede here in the States. So this Echo and the Bunnymen record is live in 2001, live in Liverpool, their hometown, and it contains stuff from all of their records up to 2001. It's a great de facto greatest hits. If you never got the chance to see Echo and the Bunnymen, they were a phenomenal live record. This has all their best songs on it. They were still, I saw them around this time, they were still at a peak performance-wise. This has been available as a bonus disc on one of their CDs, but this is its first appearance on vinyl, and it is terrific. I recommend it highly. The Suede record is from their very first tour. They were a sort of a revival of the David Bowie-ish glam rock sound that evolved very quickly into what became the Britpop sound. Their record came out in 1992, and they were at the very vanguard of that whole movement. This is a live show from their first tour, and it includes all the material from their first record, plus all the excellent B-sides from the 3 singles that they released off the first record. In fact, I was a huge fan of them when they came out, because that first record and the singles were just so terrific. But those the songs that didn't make it on the album are as good as the songs that did make it on the album. So this is a highly recommended record. Bernard Butler, the guitar player, was just one of the best young guitar players of that era, and he really shone in a live setting. So 2 excellent live records from bands, classic British bands that were bigger over there than they were over here, but still well loved over here. So this is a record by Peter Holsapple and Chris Stamey. They were in a band called the DBs in the early 80s, a terrific sort of power poppy band from North Carolina, way ahead of their time, before REM even influenced REM, influenced that whole Southern independent music trip. And they broke up in 1983 after the release of their second record, Repercussion. Peter Holsapple, the bald guy, kept the band going for 2 more records, and then he put together a band called the Continental Drifters, and subsequently he spent most of his time touring as a utility musician with REM and Hootie and the Blowfish playing guitar and mandolin and keyboards. Chris Stamey also did a couple of solo records in the 80s, but he's evolved mostly into a record producer these days. He does a lot of work for the Yep Rock label in North Carolina. He does a lot of Americana work, a lot of indie rock work. This record is 11 dB songs reimagined in a more acoustic setting from their first two records. The DBs were sort of I would call them an experimental pop record band. They had a lot of interesting sounds and approaches and rhythms to recording their poppy little songs. These are going to be more straightforward versions of them and show you that these guys were pop songwriters of the very first order. Anyway, this one's highly recommended. It's kind of a sleeper, but it's going to be a great one. Our Back Pages is what it's called. 11 dB songs. So here's the band The Creation. This is a British psychedelic era band, legendary, produced by Shel Talmy, who produced all the Who records. This is their two British records put together and remixed into stereo. They've never been available in stereo before. The records have always been hard to get over here. If you've seen some of Wes Anderson's movies, he uses Creation songs in several of them, Rushmore in particular. If you like the Who, if you like the Kinks, you're going to love this band. Great songs, punchy, great. Really excited to have this available. And again, it's pretty much everything you need from them, remixed into stereo. Creation. This is cool. This is some tracks from the early Sublime records that they have been remixed by scientists and the Mad Professor, who are two of the leading dub producers and have been for the last 40 or 45 years. If you like dub at all, you know those two names. If you like Sublime at all, you know that they were particularly adept at working with a sort of a reggae-ish sound, and they're in these tunes adapt themselves so well to the dub format. I think this is going to just be a must-have record for this time. Sublime in dub. Here's a 15th anniversary record of the Suede. What's it called? Age of Winners. The Suede is an Austin metal band that often appears with to have their tongue pretty firmly in their cheek, but that doesn't stop their records from rocking pretty hard too. They're very popular. This record is on colored vinyl, and like I say, it's a deluxe cover to celebrate the 15th anniversary of this. Really cool, and we'll do well with that. Here's a couple of records by the Police, live records. One from 1979, around the time of the second record, Regatta de Blanc, and then this one's from '83, from the Synchronicity Tour, which was their hugely successful tour of 1983. I saw the Police probably a month after this was recorded, and the set was essentially the same, and they were great. They were really, this is in a small venue, recorded live for a radio station broadcast. Them at their songwriting peak, those first two records are like a double record, and there's really not much weak stuff on there. Just the band at a peak right here. Just as they're starting to break big, and I can tell you from when I saw them, it was clear, the energy of this on stage, of them just feeling their oats, knowing that they were things were happening for them. So this one's going to be great. In 1983, they were huge by this point, but they really hated each other by this point. This is live in Atlanta. I saw them on this tour too. It wasn't nearly as good as that other one, but this has all the hits on it, and a lot of people like this sound of the Police, and this is what they want to hear. And this record's going to deliver. They were still very, very professional. It was clear when they played here in November of '83 that they just had enough of one another. And turns out we pretty much had enough of them too. So the Rough Guide is a series of thematic reissues, and this is the Rough Guide. These are 3 records in the Rough Guide to Blues, and like I say, they are thematic. They're booze and the blues, gambling and rambling blues, and of course blues behind bars. And all of these, like I say, consist of songs dealing with those themes. They're very well chosen. They're oftentimes obscure names that are very important in the development of the music. So entertainment-wise, these are very successful. Education-wise, they're very successful. And these look great. They've got great covers, as you can see, and just great series. Anyway, here we go. Robert Plant live at Knebworth. Now we're talking about the great cover there. Not such a great cover here. I really hate it when they do this. Slap a picture on there. Do something. This is Robert Plant. It's live at Knebworth in 1990. So, this has not been out before. And it's got 3 songs from his solo records: Hurting Kind, Liar's Dance, and Tall Cool One. And then a live version of Wearing and Tearing featuring Jimmy Page on guitar. This is live at Knebworth in front of 120,000 people. I'm sure it's good. It's reasonably priced, I guess, for a 4-song EP. But it wouldn't have killed you to put a picture on there. If you can put that on there, you can put a picture on there. Sometimes I really feel like they don't take as much time with some of these things as they should. And I know a lot goes into this, and I'm not complaining, but it wouldn't hurt to have a cover picture on that. It's Robert Plant, for God's sake. It's not just, Joe Blow. Anyway, 4-song EP, probably rocking. Warren Zevon, Preludes. This is demos and leftovers. It's got 8 little song fragmenty things that he'd never released before. It comes with what looks to be a very nice package. It's been available on CD before, but not on LP, and it's not likely to it's not likely to be around after this either. This is one of those things that is designed for record store day. There's probably about 3,000 or 4,000 people out there that really legitimately would love to have this record, and that's about how many they pressed up. So if you're a Warren fan, you're going to really want this, because it's got all the demos for all the hits, and just some, like I say, some unreleased sort of classical type fragments as well. Very cool stuff. This is I'm bitching about the cover on the on the Robert Plant record, and I could easily bitch about this one too, but this one actually has some context. This is the Soft Bulletin Companion. This is what it basically is a promo record that Warner Brothers put out after the Soft Bulletin came out, the Flaming Lips, in 1999, and it's got some remixes and some extra songs and some demos and some stereo versions from the Zerika record. And it's just a great collection of odds and ends. And it was put out as a promo-only piece, and it looked exactly like this when they put it out. So, so this, I'm fine with it looking like that. It's historically accurate. And this is going to be really cool because, of course, this was the Lips, basically probably their peak, and Stephen and Wayne were just so creative at the time. There's just all kinds of cool leftover stuff on this. That's a good one. Here's Fela Kuti, Open and Close. This is just a typical Fela record from the early 70s, which means it's great. I mean, you can buy every one of this guy's records and you're never going to be disappointed because they're just the groove, the melodies the guy comes up with, the power of it. He's just great. He's just he's one of those guys that's just goes beyond discussing even, really, man. Because you can talk about how cool he is. But really, all you have to do is just play one side of any one of his records. You don't have to convince anybody after that. Everybody can hear that. Great, great music. Fela Kuti, Open and Close. 50th anniversary reissue, and it's on red and yellow butterfly vinyl. Here's the Richard Hell and the Voidoids, Destiny Street. This was his second record. It's got some cool stuff on it, including a great cover of Bob Dylan's Going, Going, Gone, and the Richard song Time, which was one of his great songs of that era. You know, this is a time Richard Hell and the Voidoids, he was in television, he was in the Heartbreakers, and he got chunked out of both of them for being too dangerous and too big a junkie. And then he formed the Voidoids, and they Love Comes in Spurts was their big single, and The Blank Generation was another great song by them. They sort of were one of the first New York bands to record out of the CBGB era. But Richard was just a hot mess, and he couldn't deliver a follow-up until 1981. And this is, he was still kind of a hot mess when he delivered this, but he got his life together after this and concentrated on being an actor mostly. You know, this got some great guitar playing from Robert Quine on it. Some of these songs are produced by Nick Lowe. Great stuff. Richard Hell, Destiny Street. All right. A couple of blues things. Start out with Albert Collins. This is live in Holland with a group called the Barrelhouse, which is a Dutch blues band. They stay out of Albert's way mostly on this, and it's a great early record of Albert just playing just some astounding lead guitar. This is before he before his sort of career renaissance, signing with Alligator Records in Chicago in the late 70s. So it's right before that, though. Probably early, probably It was recorded in 78, so it was right when his first record, Ice Pickin', was coming out over here. Anyway, this has been available as an import, but never in America, and first time on vinyl over here. And here's a collection of Chicago blues on the Vanguard label that's got, it's a 3-record set, and I mean, it's great. Otis Rush, Junior Wells, Johnny Shines, J.B. Hutto, James Cotton, Johnny Young, Homesick James, Otis Spann, Big Walter Horton, all great guys, great sampler, great series, and never been packaged all together like this before. Came out as 3 separate volumes, so this is the first time you can get it all in one. Great stuff. And finally, this is Danny Barnes from the Bad Livers, another Austin legendary band, and this is Dirt on the Angel. This is the most recent solo record. It features John Paul Jones from Led Zeppelin and Bill Frisell from Bill Frisell's band, and Chuck Lovell from the Allman Brothers. Danny's a banjo player, but he's a lot more than that. He's a crazy guy. He was in the Bad Livers, and his approach to music is completely unique. And this is a great record, and you will be well served to check it out. You can get a spot in line. You can get as many records as you want. You can hang as long as you want. 30 minutes basically is going to be the limit in here. If it gets too crowded, we're going to just kind of take it as it comes and monitor it. If you want to wear a mask, you can wear a mask. If you don't want to wear a mask, you don't have to wear a mask. There's just, you know, it might be good to wear one because there are going to be more people in here than normal, but if you don't want to wear one, just ask if everybody's cool with that. We'll give you one if you need one. Anyway, like and subscribe. That's what they say to do at the end of all of these, and we would appreciate if you do that. But that's not the all and end all of this. We just want you guys to know what you're getting into when you go out to buy some records, and to understand how much fun it can be to get into. I refuse to call it a hobby. This way of life, this lifestyle of vinyl records. We'll see you next week. Hopefully we'll see a lot of you on Saturday. And until then, take care, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.